Okay, but here's the tea. Okay, everyone on this platform is going to try to show you their perfect morning routine, their perfect writing routine, or perfect creativity routine as an author. And I just want to let you know that doesn't exist here. Not at Bayou Bound Books, baby. So let's get into it. I'm so sorry, by the way, if you hear a bunch of rustling. My cat is being very rude and playing in a box. Anyway, if you don't know me, I am Isabel. I am the author, founder, full-time whatever, full-time everything here at Bayou Bound Books. It is a one-man band at this moment, and that is quite okay. So today I do want to talk about kind of like expectation versus reality when being a full-time creative, whether you paint, you draw, you write, you make poems, you make YouTube videos, it doesn't matter, okay? It kind of, the whole creative thing kind of clumps together a little bit. You just got to pick your niche and apply it, okay? So let's get into it. Here's the thing. A lot of videos are going to show you the typical more polished side of things, right? I'm going to wake up at 5, 6 in the morning, make a coffee, maybe go on a run, sit down, write, dive into my creative blocks, right? I tried that. I have now been full-time with Bayou Bound Books for almost 45 days. I left my high-paying job to pursue my dreams, and I am not regretting it. Financially, maybe a little bit, but at the same time, I'm not regretting it. Like, plain and simple, I'm just not. I'm actually really enjoying my time here. So, I tried that whole schedule thing where you wake up, go for a run, make breakfast, make coffee, be productive, take a break, have certain blocks for like filming, certain blocks for editing, certain blocks for writing. Yeah, no, that very quickly failed. I tried to revisit it. Quickly failed once again. For me, it's not a discipline factor. It's more of just, if I feel like I am being forced to be creative, it just doesn't work for me. I feel like that's when my brain just like, no, okay, that's not what we want. That's not what I want, put it this way. So my routine looks a whole lot different, okay? I worked nights for many years, and I am stuck on that night owl schedule, and that's okay. I'm self-employed, baby. No one's telling me when to go to bed, when to wake up. Oh, you gotta be up early. You're gonna feel like crap if you stay up late. No. You know what time I woke up today? 3 p.m. I woke up at 3 p.m. and I went to bed at like 6:30 a.m. when most people are waking up. But you know what? It is what it is. So my routine looks a lot different. I wake up whenever I wake up. I don't put that pressure on myself. I get the rest that I need and I get to going, okay? I wake up, I make my coffee, I sit down at my computer. First thing I typically do is kind of check my emails, check my sales report, see if I had any overnight sales, whether it's books, merch, whatever. I check all of that, and then I'm like, okay, what am I going to do today? I don't typically like wake or go to bed and wake up with a to-do list. There are some things that might need to get done, and I kind of just like do them as I go, do them as the week goes. Nothing for me is like super has to be done right now. What does have to be done right now is my editing, and we'll get into that later, okay? That's a little bit of a nightmare. But like I said, I don't have a schedule. I tried. I really gave it a go to sit here. I did pretty much an hour by hour or every 2 hours, every 3 hours, and broke things up into blocks. Like, okay, if I have this structure, will I get X, Y, and Z done? I will be productive. I would have no choice because I'm sitting down and doing it. Not how it works for me. I've tried. So, like I said, I wake up, drink my coffee, do my thing, get started. And if I don't lock in immediately, okay? We're not putting that pressure. I sometimes will sit there and I'll watch a YouTube video on like success or kind of like whatever it is that I'm working on towards my business. Because keep in mind, I am a one-man band. I don't outsource. I don't hire. Not yet. It's not big enough for that. And so I'm kind of having to figure everything out on my own. And that is okay because everything at the end of the day is figure outable And that's exactly what we're doing here at Bayou Bound Books. Okay. So, like I said, I don't force anything. If I'm not feeling creative, I'm not feeling creative. I'm not going to write something or force myself to do something if I'm just not in that headspace, because chances are whenever I go to edit it or I look back on it, I'll be like, this is kind of trash, right? That idea might stick. So, and it might not. So at the end of the day, if I'm not feeling creative, I will pull out a blank sheet of paper and just kind of brain dump. And I know a lot of times there's nothing there because I'm just not in that creative headspace. But I'll write down the stuff that I would have forced myself to write or create as ideas. So I can revisit that. Like, let's say a couple hours from that point, I'm like, okay, now I'm in that creative headspace. And I look back and I'm like, all these ideas are trash. But it's something to work with. It's something to build off of. And guess what? If I feel like I can't build off of it, it's done. We're not using it, okay? It's just that simple. It's just I try to create a no pressure atmosphere for myself as much as possible. And guess what? I still get writing done. I still get my books published. I still have merch out there. I still make new friends. I still get new followers. I still get views, okay? It's a process. And a lot of people might like that structure. Me, cannot do it. Some days I might be sitting there not feeling creative, not feel like writing or anything. And guess what? I don't sit there and make myself film videos. I don't make myself sit there and film reels. I don't do any of that. I don't sit there and make myself write. Sometimes, because I love oil pastels and I love like doing art, now that the burnout is kind of gone, I've been able to open up more of a creative space in my head, which it's absolutely phenomenal. I love it. It's great. I'm so happy for that to kind of be resurfacing. Like I said, with oil pastels, it's really knocking the dust off the bottle. Okay, so sometimes what I've been doing is, look, I'm not in a creative headspace to write. I'm going to go ahead and get some like oil pastel work done, okay? I do plan on selling prints inevitably. That has been a thing. I used to do commission paintings and stuff like that. But as of right now, I have a main focus, and that is Chasing 25. By the way, Chasing 25 is coming July 20th, 2026. So like 36 days. I know that social media posts of mine in the past have alluded to it have been being out last year. That didn't happen. Not even close. And that has nothing to do with the schedule I set for myself. That has everything to do with working a more than full-time job where I was working a lot of overtime, very draining. Bartending is extremely like emotionally taxing and physically taxing at times and very like mentally draining, I guess. But that's okay. Okay. So here's the thing. I'm full-time now. Been full-time for around that 45-day mark. And I'm doing that now. The only thing that I do have to essentially force myself to do is edit. Freaking hate editing. The book is written. It was written last year whenever those posts kind of came out. Oh, starting to edit, round 1 done. Like, it's going to come soon. Yeah, no, that didn't happen. You're right. Round 1 of editing was complete. I'm picking it up almost a year later, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, so these round 1 edits probably just need to be scrapped entirely. Things have changed in my life for the better, and I'm still keeping those things in the book, but I do want to like revise or reword or re-add and make it more relevant so it's more of an evergreen book and not just like a very like timeline, you know? Let me put it this way. Chasing 25 is not a memoir. It's more of a survival guide of information that I wish I had at that time in my life and in those specific events in my life. But we'll get into more of that later. And it's kind of not really a secret right now, but I'm not ready to like put it out there fully. I'm going to have a full dedicated video to this, right? But like I said, the only thing I force myself to do is edit the dang book because I hate editing. Editing for me is like homework for the rest of my life, okay? like I said, I'm like 36 days out of my publication date for Chasing 25 that I have set for myself, okay? Let's be honest. It's not forced, right? But I have already posted it or put it in certain places on social media where now it has to be a thing. And I would like to say I'm basically ground zero. Like I said, there's some things that I still want to rewrite. I still need to pretty much re-edit the entire thing. And not just from like round 2 of re-editing. I mean like from round 1 of re-editing. So I'm going to have 2 rounds of editing. And then I'm going to have a read through. And then publication. I have about 180 pages, right? So it's 25 chapters. 25 main chapters, 26 chapters total. But I need to edit all of that. And I don't know the best way to do that because productive procrastination queen over here. I tried to sit down and edit today. Guess what I did? I just sat at my computer and I said, ooh, email from BookBub. My author profile is accepted. Let me go ahead and do that, right? That's good. That's all dandy. Does that require immediate attention? Absolutely not. Does having an author profile on BookBub need to happen for me? No. Is it helpful? Absolutely it is, okay? But that could have waited. Shoot. That could have waited till like 6 months from now. But I knocked it out today. Check off the to-do list. You can look at it like checking off the to-do list or not getting the shit done that I need to get done. Oh well. With that being said, for all those indie authors out there or people who are aspiring authors who just want to get out there and try because that's what they love doing, just know that you don't need a perfect process, that these perfect processes don't exist in the way that you think they do. It's really just what works for everyone. And I know that's so disheartening to hear, but I feel like there needs to be a video out there or advice out there that's like that non-traditional way of saying, this is my writing process. I see so many videos on YouTube out there that are like, oh, I followed this traditional author, like their writing process, and I'm following kind of what they did and see what it does for me. Yeah. No, not around here, baby. Not around here. It's not how it works for me around here. And that's okay. Not everyone has to be alike. Oh, and here's Apollo. Hello. He's like, him and Roscoe, I think, are like my brand managers in a way. But honestly, they cause more distraction than they do help me. So, at least he's done making noise now that this video is over. So, anyway, I am going to go edit or at least sit on my computer at my desk and pretend like I'm editing. Chasing 25 will be out July 20th. Hopefully.